To make the trays, I'll be using 1/4-inch oak for the sides and 1/4-inch finish grade plywood for the dividers and compartments of the trays. First, I'll cut some 1/4-inch oak to form the sides of the tray. This cut is for the lower tray that will hold the checker pieces, marble drawer, and other games. Again, I'll break out the 45-degree sled and sled stop to accurately duplicate the sides. That little spacer I'm using will help me accurately cut a dado in the side. When I make a cut with the spacer in place and then remove it and make another cut, I'll have a dado that is the exact width of the dividers. And you can see the divider fits perfectly. It does not require excessive force to fit, yet stays together by friction when I let it go. Some of the sides and dividers will have to be notched to a different height where the compartment that will hold the marble drawer goes. I'm making one of those cuts here. The cover over the marble drawer compartment will nest in the notch I'm making in this divider. I'm getting ready to glue up the sides of the tray in the same way I did the case and the lid in the first video of this series. I'm making sure the tray is square before I let the glue dry. Now I'll cut out the 1/4-inch plywood that will become the tray bottom. And it's a perfect fit. Time to glue the bottom in place. I'll put some weights on it and leave it to dry. I'm cutting the sides and dividers for the marble drawer. The groove I'm cutting can be done more safely with a table router. I don't have one, so I adapted by making this jig for my table saw. There are some safety concerns here, so I wouldn't recommend doing it this way. Prepping to glue the sides of the marble drawer. Again, the same tactic used on the case, lid, and other trays. Now I'm gluing the marble drawer dividers. The drawer will have 6 compartments for the different color Chinese checkers. Each compartment will hold 10 marbles. After putting marbles in the drawer to test the fit, I realized they were difficult to get out. I came up with these ramps as a last-minute design change. Now they scoop out of the drawer with ease. I'm using the chisel to remove some of the excess glue so the ramps will fit snugly with no gaps. I use mostly CA glue from this point on, so I don't have to wait hours for these smaller parts to set. I'm custom cutting and fitting each of the ramps. Construction of the marble drawer is complete. Here I'm gluing in the ramps in the section of the tray that will hold the checkers. The checkers will lay on these ramps and overlap each other like shingles. Construction of the bottom tray is complete. That piece is just a hair too long, so I'll make an adjustment and shave a bit more off. Again, you can see how nicely the sled works for making these 45-degree cuts. Just like the marble drawer, I need to cut a groove in the sides of the chess piece tray, where the base of the tray will be glued in. Again, I don't recommend using this tactic on a table saw. You can see how perfectly the base will fit when I place this scrap in the groove. Another tray glue up using the same method as before. This time I managed to keep everything in the frame while filming. Now I'll cut out the bottom of the tray. And it's another perfect fit. I put a few weights on it and allowed it to dry. I'll start by making the piece that goes left to right all the way through the center. First step is to cut several strips of material to the proper width. These will be used to make all of the dividers for the chest tray. Now to cut that center divider. Test fit was nice and snug. Now to cut the notches for the crossing pieces. These have to be the perfect width and depth and consistent for each divider. Next, I'll cut the remaining dividers. All have been cut to length and test fit. Time to cut the notches. With all the notches cut, I dry fit everything before final glue up. Everything went together perfectly, so it's time for some glue. I'm going to glue the centerpiece first. The cross dividers are not glued in this step. They are there to help line the centerpiece up in perfect position. You'll notice I'm keeping the glue away from the cross pieces. Now I'll start gluing the cross pieces. Notice the pencil line. That will help me line up the divider nice and square. I'm using a small drafting square to square the piece up, and then I trace a pencil line. I repeated this process for the other dividers. Now I'm working on the dividers for the pawns, and it was here that I realized the depth of the compartment would make it difficult to remove the pawns from the tray. I came up with this last-minute modification as a solution. I'm using this washer to trace the area I'm going to cut away. I figured the fastest and simplest way to do this would be on the drill press with a properly sized Forstner bit, and then clean it up with the Dremel tool. Now to glue in the remaining pieces. Again, I'm just dry fitting these cross pieces to ensure the divider gets glued in the proper alignment. And here's the finished tray. The construction phase is now complete. Be sure to watch part 3 to see the finished game case.